A woman has accused Alex Pereira of assault, assault, and claiming that Alex Pereira R-worded her. Now, obviously, we're on YouTube. We can't use certain trigger words, but I think you know what I'm saying. On today's video, we're going to discuss exactly what is going on and everything that we know so far, as well as talk about the new evidence that is out and some more information has been released about the accuser. I do want to jump right into things and start with the accuser's first video, which was released about said assault that took place. We're going to bring it up on screen here. And you can see and you can hear. I'm going to turn the volume down, though, because I believe this is a copyrighted song. Okay, so we have light heavyweight champ, father, idol, right? And then here's a picture. She said, a predator that likes to R-word girls in the ass. There is Alex Pereira. Now, the entire caption of what she said is featured below here, and we can read it off. If only she had known what was in store for her that night. Took me a while to find the courage to come out and say this, but I've been struggling so much with my mental health, I can barely get out of bed these days. It keeps eating me alive, keeping it inside and not talking about it because I'm scared. I'm hoping this will help me heal and not feel so alone. I know some people believe me, and they won't believe me rather, and think that I'm clout chasing and stuff like that. But I just want to feel normal again. I'm hoping maybe I find the courage to tell my story is the first step in that right direction. If any other woman has experienced this, I'm so sorry. You're not alone. And I hope that this helps you find your voice again. So this woman is acclaiming Alex Pereira of SA. Okay, this is a very serious accusation against the UFC champion. Definitely potential defamation case if it is proven that he is guilty in this scenario. And there is some concerns about the accuser. Now, I understand. People will say, well, SA is not limited, just to the common person. Influencers and OnlyFans models can potentially be SA'd as well. Sure, I get it. And I understand what you're saying. But when you dig into some of what she said, smack a fine-ass Hispanic man, right? It's very sexual-based content. She has an OnlyFans, which she promotes, right? That's a major aspect of her platform. That's pretty much all she's known for is flaunting the goods. But things get a little bit weird because she told the story too. We have a video of her telling the story, which we will look at. I believe there's holes in the story. Now, this is the new evidence. And I want to bring this up first because I know some of you have not seen the text messages. So we're going to bring it up on screen. This right here is her texting with Alex Pereira's translator. She said, I'm in New York City until Saturday, then I'll head down to Jersey. So he's essentially making a plan for them to meet up and hang out. You can see what's your number, when are you going to be in the city. We're going to look through all of these text messages that were released. Who are you coming to the fights with? My best friend. She went to the last fight with me. Haha. I believe this is the friend that is texting Alex Pereira's translator about the girl who I believe's name is Meredith, who is accusing Pereira of said assault. So you can see right here the messages that are coming through. Why did Alex mention we're getting to Lambo and about how you would be here for the fights? And he goes, does she have a friend? And haha, tell him I do. So the friend is obviously very excited to bring Meredith around. And you can see the info coming out. This is a lot of texting here. A lot of back and forth. We're not sure yet. Probably get dressed up and find somewhere to eat. So they're trying to figure out plans. Then they get invited to the training room with Alex Pereira. And then, of course, there's interest, right? You can see here, Shamma just getting here. When you get here, you can park across the street. Okay, thanks for inviting us. I enjoyed training with you guys. They seem to be very happy that they met the champ. They're at a UFC event. They're going to the fights. They want to get dinner with Pereira. They got invited. They said yes. They Ubered back and forth. There's a picture of the friend, Jess, hanging out. There's a picture of, I believe, the accuser, Meredith, with Alex Pereira, but he's, 2 people away. He doesn't seem to be all over. And then this is dropped at the end, a slew of text on June 6th. I feel like every morning I wake up, I feel shittier, and it's even more clear to me that they manipulated us and used us / assaulted us. I've been disassociated ever since I left that hotel. Nothing feels real. They knew older women wouldn't put up with that shit, so they preyed on us low key. I can tell who's a bigger POS. Mel for pretending to be a safe person for us and acting like a very easy person to open up to, or Alex telling him to do that, and then I can't read the rest and not thinking twice about it. Okay, so these are the following texts, but initially it seemed like there was a lot of excitement. The girl's name is Meredith Brown, and the friend is named Jesse, right? What's interesting is they were supposedly best friends heading into this, right? And you can see the picture here of the best friend Jess with Alex Pereira, which is, a cool picture, and the sparring, right? And then you can see the little pic that we already brought up with the text. It's just the same slate. What's weird is this girl, Jessie, has unfollowed her supposed best friend, Meredith. This is weird to me. Why would you unfollow your best friend? Wouldn't you back her unapologetically if the claims were true? But the best friend saw it all. The best friend was there. And now we get into the suspicious holes in the story. Okay, so we have the whole list of everything. And I've time-stamped up a few marks from the first and second video, which I think are worthwhile to listen closely to. We have 2:37 of the first video. I am going to fast forward to. Let's get to it.
He tries to kiss me outside of Crew's MMA gym. I grab his face and I push him away. I will try to find security footage from a building around it if possible. We leave the training. They then invite us to like a meeting or like something that was outside where they were like signing stuff, I guess. I don't know. But we turned it down because it was outside and it was super hot and we had already done our makeup and gotten ready for the UFC fight that night.
This is suspicious. So shortly after they were sparring and training, they got invited to go somewhere else, but they were already ready for dinner and had their makeup done, so they didn't go. The thing with this is the timeline isn't necessarily lining up. And that's what I have a problem with, because the story she was discussing, they're at the gym. And then shortly thereafter, they're invited to go out with them to a signing in the middle of the day, but they were already ready for the UFC fight, which they weren't going to go to until the evening hours. That got weird to me. But there's more.
They're giving us drinks. Alex won't get off of me. I'm not into it because I don't know this man. I don't like being touched if I am not, like, if I don't know you and I'm not comfortable with you. Even if you're my family member, I just don't like being touched.
This is a girl who makes OnlyFans content and has flexed, right, sexual stuff constantly all over social media, right? Her whole vibe is sex-based. I believe there's also something you'll see down here a little further. Me after one glass of wine. Sometimes I wish someone would subscribe to my OF and buy one of my BJ vids and leak it to the whole world so they know I'm a star. Doesn't seem like the type of girl who isn't interested in casual encounters, if I say so myself. Very strange. You don't like being touched? You do OnlyFans? You make videos having sex with random men? That seems flawed, and that seems like a complete lie. But there's more.
We have to split up because it's time to go to the UFC fight. His translator and Alex go on their own. Me and my friend take an Uber. It goes terribly. The fight ends. Afterwards, his assistant Mel sends an Uber to our location after the UFC fight.
So they didn't leave with Pereira and Mel. An Uber got sent to them.
And brings us back to the Courtyard Marriott.
They chose to go back to the Courtyard Marriott with them. They didn't have to take that Uber. They could have said no.
Where we were going to go out. We were going to go there, and they were going to drive us, and they were talking about going to, I don't know, they were talking about going to strip clubs, and they were...
But they chose to go. They wanted to go to strip clubs, supposedly. Something's not adding up. She said yes to leaving. They weren't forced to get in the car. They didn't go to the event with them. They didn't leave the event with them. But after the fact, they took a ride from an Uber that was offered by them after they were having a horrible time. They were completely creeped out. They didn't like the vibe at all. But you're going to go hang out with them? Things get even weirder.
He keeps touching me. I keep pushing him off. Eventually, me and my friend say that we're very tired and we would like to go to sleep. They turn all the lights off. My friend and the assistant get into bed It's a queen size bed that they get into. I'm in a queen size bed right next to it with Alex. Me and my friend are on the inside of the bed looking at each other under the blankets.
Looking at each other under the blankets is very tricky. So they're in two separate beds, but they're looking at each other under blankets that are connected to two beds in the same room? In a pitch black room, too. How could they see each other? The lights are shut off. This isn't adding up.
He keeps pulling the blanket over me.
So obviously she's claiming that Pereira is pulling the blanket over her. Now, she said that she got into bed to cuddle with Alex Pereira. So you're having a horrible day with Alex. You hated every moment of it. You do not like him whatsoever. You're not a fan, period. But now you're getting into bed with him after choosing to go back to the hotel room where they invited you with an Uber. Now in a pitch black room, you and your friend are making faces at one another? That doesn't make sense. That's strange. At the end of her story, she said her friend and Mel left the room. But she could have left too. They chose to leave and she decided to stay. She stayed with Alex. And that's when I guess the essay, the R word, had taken place after she had chose to hang out with him all night long, after she chose to take the Uber ride. Now, what's even more suspicious is a DM was released, and the claim is, nice fake allegation. Hope your failed OF career produced enough money for defense lawyers. Laughing face. The money I'm making from all the exposure to my OF will pay for them. Kiss heart. Kind of saying, yeah, it is a fake allegation, but I'm blowing up. The laughing face is nonsensical. For something as serious as this, there's no laughing face. And she cried crocodile tears in the pictures. Now, what's weird is on Instagram, right? She's putting out a TikTok. She's dancing. She's putting out content. She's having a blast. This is the next day, right? She seemed real excited. She seemed happy to be there. She's getting lit. Personality pics. Subscribe to see users posts. Check out her OnlyFans. Another sexualized post that she has there. More pics from the day. She's got the good weed. She's got this picture up. She's excited. She's flexing, right? All the sexual stuff she had been posting. She doesn't seem like a girl who doesn't put out on a first date. She doesn't seem like a girl who wouldn't put out to a UFC champion. She seems like a girl that would be really upset if Alex Pereira didn't want to hang out with her any longer or didn't call her back after they had hung out, didn't reach out again. That's the type of girl that she seems like to me. Now, obviously, we have to take her at her word in a sense, and you can't completely defile her. But Pereira doesn't seem too interested when they're sitting not even next to each other with a person in between. Very weird to me, the collection of stuff she posted. Now, what's odd is she said she doesn't know Alex Pereira. She doesn't know anything about UFC. I don't know the UFC. I'm not a fan. She was at a Sean O'Malley fight. Flashing my cherries if Sean wins. Wait for the end. Sean O'Malley got a win against Cheeto Vera that night. And she flashes the crowd. Yes, she pulled the tits out at the Sean O'Malley fight. This isn't a girl who sleeps around? Yeah? I don't know about that. Things aren't adding up to me. I think there's more to the story that hasn't been unveiled. Now, what's funny is she has changed her Instagram handle. You can't find her anymore. The girl Jessie and her, they don't follow each other anymore, right? The best friends, and she changes her account. You can't find her on TikTok either. She's deleted the post now after getting hundreds of thousands of views and absolutely defaming the UFC light heavyweight champion. I believe charges need to be presented if it is proven that she has lied about said outcomes. I think that her story from the get-go was incredibly flawed. The crocodile tears were very strange. Things weren't adding up throughout the entire thing. She seems like she dreamed to sleep with Alex Pereira, but why would Pereira try so hard to get with this girl if she wasn't interested when he's the UFC champ, bro? He's 6 feet 4 inches tall. He can get with plenty of women that would love to spend an evening with Alex Pereira, but he's trying so hard for this OnlyFans model that's 21. That's weird to me. That's very strange to me. And after the fact, now she didn't want to hang out with him. Now it's all a problem. Her friend doesn't follow her anymore. She doesn't watch the UFC. I don't know who Alex Pereira was, but you're at a Sean O'Malley fight? Alex Pereira is a huge star in the UFC, Sean O'Malley level or more than Sean O'Malley level. He main evented UFC 300. She was at UFC 299. You don't know Pereira? You had never heard of him beforehand? Even if you hadn't heard of him before 299, they were playing promos for UFC 300 in the venue. She knew exactly who he was. Now, granted, I guess you could say, oh, but they shifted the card late. Fair. I guess you could say that. They did make a last-minute shift of 300. Some things changed. No, they didn't. That's 303. What am I talking about? That's the McGregor card. Yeah, they didn't. Of course, they showed everything. Yeah. Story ain't adding up. I try to give her the benefit of the doubt, even with that thought. Doesn't seem to exist. Now, more evidence maybe will come out. Her deleting everything is a sign that she realizes she fucked up. I have to assume that this may have been a clout chase, and defaming a UFC champion, defaming anybody, first and foremost, defaming anyone. I think there should be a penalty for any person that accuses someone of SA and then it is proven that this is untrue and they tried to ruin their reputation or potentially put somebody in jail. This is a crime, and she should be charged with such if it comes out that this is untrue. Now, of course, we have to use the if word, even though evidence is pointing to her being a clout chaser and a blasphemer in this situation. It just seems to me, from looking through her social media, this is a girl who would put out to an Alex Pereira, but, you know, maybe not. We're in the West, man. 99% of the girls, especially ones that post content like this, are putting out to celebrities, left and right. But she's the 1% that isn't. I don't think it adds up. I don't know about that. I think that we have someone that has attempted to defame Pereira in attempts to build their own stock, and now claiming that she's making a lot of money if that, you know, Instagram DM was real, through her OnlyFans. And now she has notoriety. We know the name of Meredith Brown, whereas before we had never heard of her. No one knew who she was. But now we all know who she is. And maybe it blew up her OF. Maybe some simpy fans were like, yo, let's buy it. Let's check her out. And then she makes bank. Very scary scenario for Alex Pereira. More news coming on it, I would assume, in coming days. And I'm sure Pereira will make a statement. As of this moment, he has not. But new evidence has been released that I think back Alex Pereira into more of a potential innocence as opposed to being guilty. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this very intense video. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below. I definitely appreciate all of your thoughts. And if you enjoyed the content, if you like these type of videos, definitely make sure you smash the like button. If it's your first time on the channel, hit the subscribe button. You guys know I like covering the drama on top of, you know, the UFC breakdowns, news, live streams, and more. And this is a very major situation which new evidence has come out on that I think does protect Pereira. We shall see. Thank you guys for watching. Shama, I will see you all in the next one. Good night. Peace out.